Welcome to another lore video, and I think we can call it a lore video because it's time for the Christmas event, which references many figures in the lore and in the news. We'll get to this year's Christmas event in a few minutes, and I'll walk you through all the messages you have to decode and all the deliveries you need to make and the rewards for them. But first, let's take a quick look at the story and other events. As always, this video is chaptered, so just skip to the Christmas stuff if you want to. From now until Christmas, if you log in every day, you will get some free arcs to spend on cosmetics, which has become a Christmas tradition, so it's a good chance to bag those for yourself. An attempt by Prime Minister Edmund Mahon's opposite number in the Alliance, Nakato Kane, to independently supply Alliance systems without the help of Sirius, to show they don't need the help of Sirius, has failed through a lack of contributions. I've had no time to do any community goals, being completely wrapped up with the war, but can't help wondering what would have happened if the goal had been achieved. We haven't heard much from the Alliance except when their deal with Sirius gets a mention, so we'll probably get more chances to affect this issue in the future, if for no other reason than it's the only story coming out of the Alliance at the moment. Spire site contamination gets a mention to say that it has been surprisingly successful and fast acting, and there's certainly been no lack of anti-Xeno pilots and saboteurs at the sites themselves. However, after the patch this week, the behaviour of the Orthraces has changed. Now the inbound as well as the outbound Orthraces are using the Guardian shutdown fields and making a run for it, which means that without some very specialised builds or some friends around you, you won't kill one before they get away. And there are also a lot more scouts around, which makes choosing your weapons and teammates very carefully. That has become much more vital. It's still a viable way of defeating the enemy and making money, but it's not quite the turkey shoot it's been for the last few weeks. This has been received with mixed feelings. Some disliking something AX that is quite easy for people new to it. Others saying that actually they like the combat being a bit more tricky now, because after you have as much money as you want, it gets a bit repetitive, so it's nice to be kept on your toes. The most interesting article has been this one. Pranav Antal and Utopia have obviously taken a deeper look at the information brought to them by Shojin, formerly D2, the subject of human experimentation by Azimuth, and more credibility is being given to the idea that Salvation escaped the destruction of the Bright Sentinel in HIP 22460 using what they call the Nemesis Protocol to upload his consciousness into some piece of Guardian technology. Because here's another article mentioning it. So this isn't just some wacky conspiracy theory, but a story beat. And whether he has or not, the quest to find out is an ongoing story in itself. Although Utopia's SimBase, which stores the memories and skills of deceased employees and others, is nothing like whatever it is that Salvation is said to be using, they have developed some kind of insight and want to meet with Shojin to discuss their ideas. After studying the designs intensively, our neurosmiths have gained some insights into the Nemesis failsafe. Salvation's unique knowledge of Guardian energy particles and their applications exceeds even our understanding, but we have formulated a theory about what happened when the Nemesis Protocol was activated aboard the Bright Sentinel megaship shortly before its destruction in HIP 22460. I would like to discuss this matter in person with Shojin. Her unique experience with Salvation's methods and independent research into his character may help me resolve some remaining questions. The idea is still being ridiculed by some sectors of the media and obviously by Azimuth, but you don't put in a story like this and come back to it if it has no traction at all, so watch out for further developments, whatever the truth may be. In any case, Aegis has agreed to take Shojin to talk to Pranav Antal and Utopia if she wants to, so we'll see, possibly after Christmas, where that goes, unless they intend to drop some bombshell about Salvation to keep us talking over the holidays. As far as the war goes, the increased workload in alerts is causing a few to become controlled systems or go into invasion, but we're recovering from the shock of it and we're already working to mitigate the damage, and it will only slow down, not stop, our overall strategy if a few controls or invasions slip through. Legong was cleared of all of its controls, but then one alert appeared. So either the rules have been changed to allow Titans to cause alerts, or they always could, but the chance is a small one. Let's say a 10 to 15% chance a week of alerting a system within 10 light years. So Legong got an alert, but Tyrannus, which was cleared a week before, hasn't so far. So we don't know if it's already a built-in rule or God handed in after Tyrannus was cleared. An observation is going to have to continue until the rules for this come to light or can be otherwise deduced. But the number of alerts a Titan can produce has gone up from 5 to 6, and that is a very obvious God hand. And all of this has been apparently with the same aim in mind. They do want us to get past this stage, but not just yet. We'll see if anything happens before Christmas, but there's the expected slowdown in the news for the moment, so on to the main event, the Christmas deliveries. Last year, it was helping out a toy store who had a load of deliveries and not enough pilots to take them. 2 years ago, it was presents from the Winking Cat, who was celebrating a year of high-profile crimes by hosting a treasure hunt for independent pilots. This year, it's all about a nutty but well-meaning inventor called Harald Harksing, who sends prototypes of his inventions to celebrities as presents, hoping to get their endorsement so that he can secure himself a manufacturing deal. It starts with this article on Galnet. The eccentric inventor Harald Harksing has been causing quite a stir on Angel Station in the Calhuacan system. Recent reports suggest that the independent entrepreneur is experiencing problems with a corrupted database. This has prevented him from shipping his latest batch of inventions to their intended destinations. The commotion caused by his efforts to resolve the issue has brought both amusement and exasperation to the starport's inhabitants. Lishan Ibarra, culture correspondent for Vox Galactica, published a profile piece on Harksing. Little of Harald Harksing's background has ever been confirmed. What is well known, and indeed highly publicised, is his annual sending of unusual gifts to individuals referenced in Galnet news articles. These mostly comprise of unique toys, gadgets or games that Harksing has designed and built himself, sometimes tailor-made for the recipient. Those who receive Harksing's inventions typically find them charming. The gourmet Giles Capelio, for example, was delighted by a chin-mounted palate-cleansing robot. Ambassador Delphine Dumont of the Federal Diplomatic Corps blushed when asked about the furry Yuri teddy bear that arrived at her office. And Archduke Otto Lombardo Duval admitted that all 12 of his grandchildren adored a card game based on Imperial bloodlines called Filial Pursuit. Harksing himself is always overjoyed at such positive responses. He often claims to be a huge fan of each person, describing them as glorious or kings in their field. Such boyish enthusiasm, coupled with the odd nature of his creations, has made him a local celebrity in a short time. Somewhat cynically, the Tau Cetai Journal described Harald Harksing as a calculating businessman who sends his prototypes to celebrities to secure endorsement and attract investors. And while it's true that several manufacturers have offered contracts to mass produce his less outlandish inventions, Harksing is more commonly viewed as a joyful and philanthropic figure. So opinions are obviously divided on Harald, with some people saying he's cynically exploiting celebrity culture for contracts, while others see him as no worse than any other businessman, and at least he's a bit more fun than the average box ticker in a suit whose requirements to do their job apparently include having a personality bypass. As with last year's Christmas gifts, you collect them from the station and get the letters from the listening post just outside the station. And following the article, a message appeared in everybody's inbox on Thursday after the weekly maintenance cycle. Commander, I need your help. The name's Harald Harksing, and I am a man of technology. My mind is a cacophony of gadgets, gizmos and gimmicks. You wouldn't believe the wondrous creations that litter my workshop. I'd be delighted to give a tour one day, but I've been told that the area is a hazardous environment, but a local security team. No technological revolution comes without risk, I say. Still, this does bring me to my dilemma. The data bank of recipients for my yearly festive giveaway has been corrupted. I attempted to recontextualize the granular paradigms through the proactive network vortals buried within the proprietary operating system's holistic functionality. Somewhat foolishly, I now admit. My handwritten letters containing names, locations, and such have been scrambled. Would you consider decoding these messages and delivering my packages? I'd be willing to provide a veritable bounty of goodies if you choose to do so. You can find me at Angel Station in Calhoucan. I await your arrival with fervent anticipation. When you land at Angel Station, you get this automatic message from Harald. A merry message mix-up. Welcome to Angel Station, Commander. I am delighted that you are here, hopefully to help distribute my inspired inventions across the bubble, where delighted recipients will no doubt declare this holiday season to be the greatest ever. Your instructions are to collect festive gifts from the Angel Station commodity market. I've marked the containers to ensure you receive the correct gifts. Should you lose them or trade them at locations other than those named in the encrypted messages, you will need to return here to collect a replacement. Scan the beacon outside Angel Station, if you haven't already, to collect the scrambled messages. Once your clever little brain has figured out how to decipher them, visit each named location and sell a festive gift to the commodity market. The cargo crews will ensure the correct package reaches the intended recipient. Each message is signed with my name. Perhaps this offers a starting point for decoding the text. I've arranged for rewards to be assigned to you with each delivery. Best of luck, Commander. Harald Harksing. Okay. And there they are, the festive gifts. 12 of them available at any given time. You only need 6 if you don't make any mistakes. And we'll take off now. Go to the listening post and pick up the messages. It's right outside the station.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship released. You are clear for departure.
And even as you approach it, you can just target it
You are clear to resume previous
from several kilometers out. There you go.
splendid journey.
And you will get all 6 letters all at once. His name can be used as a starting point. As you can see, these are going to be letter substitutions, these are going to be mostly rotation ciphers, etc, etc. So let's take a look at this one, decode it, and see where we have to go. Alright, this is a rotation 1 cipher, which means that all of the letters have been moved just one place. And when we decode it, we're using the Canon decryptor. I'll give you a link to that. To Jasmina Halsey, of course, very, very famous ex-president of the Federation, targeted for assassination when she went on a tour in the presidential spaceship Starship 1, left the Federation, joined the Alliance, and then came back to the Federation as an ambassador to the Alliance and to various other people. Big supporter of Aegis and more peaceful attempts to end the war, and hasn't really shown any signs of going back to being a full-time Federation senator, and certainly doesn't want to be president again. It was down to Jasmina Halsey that we found the first Guardian sites. To Jasmina Halsey, my admiration of your career knows no limits, As a former president of the Federation, it is safe to say you are one of the most remarkable individuals of your generation. Even though your temporary misplacement aboard Starship One was no doubt disorienting, you have returned to service as a Federal Ambassador for Peace and Goodwill. I offer you a token of the same goodwill with the utmost humility. May it brighten up your office at Bloch Station. Yours in respect, Harald Harksing. That's 183.5 light years from Angel Station. Probably want to take something with a decent range, the Asp Explorer Phantom DBX, something like that. If you want to make fast work of this, so off we go. Bloch Station around a rather nice Earth-like. Go to the commodity market and sell one of these.
Incoming message.
And you get the message. Shall we see how overjoyed the recipient is with their gift? Harksing shipment confirmed. Recipient, Jasmine Halsey. Recipient comments. What on leasty is this? Is it a statue? A robot? It doesn't look like it will balance on... Oh, now it's singing. What a unique melody. I wonder if Mr. Harksing left instructions to turn it off. And you get the Santa jumper from last year. Got that green jumper. For your on-foot character, you get the red Snowfall paint job for the Anaconda, the DBX, the Krait Phantom, and the Type 9. So there you go, a couple of paint jobs for really just a very, very short trip. Alright, the second one uses what we call the app bash filter, and it's to Hector Duval, the baby, the new baby in the Imperial family. To Hector Mordanticus Duval, you are a child of considerable significance with a potential future on the Imperial throne. Take advantage of these early years on Dyson City, enjoying every moment of a carefree youth while you can. In this spirit, I hope my little gift will provide hours of joy. Yours in kindness, Harald Harksing. Yeah, they make you travel quite a bit between these systems, so yeah, definitely take a longest range fast ship, probably a Phantom or DBX. Take a Conda if you want, I guess. But yeah, look at that. That's quite a distance away again. 5 jumps for Cleo. Paresa system, where we're going to deliver a present from Harald to the new royal baby.
Landing gear retracted.
Detach sequence complete. Allow for oncoming traffic in the access corridor.
Well, I say new royal baby. He's now a terrible 2-year-old, but let's see what Harold's cooked up for him. And a very polite Empire controller from the Tea and Cucumber Sandwiches School of Public Speaking is now welcoming me here to Dyson City. Deliver the second package
Landing gear deployed.
and hoover up the awards. Hey, it's Christmas, I'm allowed. Same deal. Sell one of these
Incoming message.
and get the message from the recipient. Harksing shipment confirmed. Recipient, Lady Astrid Minerva Duval. Recipient comments. Please remind the postmaster that Harksing's Imperial Authority codes are fraudulent. I would also ask the courier to inform Harksing that a fully functional jetpack is not an appropriate gift for a 2-year-old, regardless of how many coloured bubbles it produces. Still, the sentiment is appreciated. Okay. Well, I think we're getting a handle on the mind of Mr. Harksing and his philosophy behind gift giving. Frankly, I don't know why this man isn't a billionaire already. He's a genius. I think the world's just about crazy enough for a man like Harksing right now. Oh dear. Alright. Rewards for this are the yellow Flak launcher, which you might have got if you did it last year, but it's out for grabs again, so great chance to get that. The blue Blizzard paint job for the Anaconda, the Asp Explorer, the Cobra Mark III and the Python, and the Expressway Voyage paint job for the Imperial cutter. So yeah. Alright, the third message is rotation 13. So every letter is shifted 13 places, and it's to Saskia Landau. The agent who found a missing emperor. I considered your gift for quite some time. In the end, what better way to honour your greatest success than with a beautiful memory sitting on your Enoch port desk? The perfect conversation piece, I think you'll agree. Yours in triumph, Harald Harksing. Our next port of call is Agartha, not so far away. Only 76.5 light years this time.
Incoming message.
Sell the gift, get the message, and Harksing shipment confirmed. Recipient Saskia Landau. Recipient comments. Who sent this? Why would I want a snow globe of Emperor Orissa in chains? Is that supposed to be me with a bolt cutter? This ornament could get me fired, for goodness sake. Oh dear. Seems like not everybody has a sense of humour about Harald's gifts. And for this one you get the festive gift bobblehead, the package. Looks like a Christmas parcel on a spring that you can put instead of the bats that I have. Think I'll keep the bats though. And you get the green and yellow ice paint job for Anaconda, the Corvette, the Fer-de-Lance and the Alliance Chieftain. Letter 4 is rotation 3. And it's to the author, Olav Redcourt. I hope you'll forgive the intrusion, given your preference for solitude in recent years. But as a huge fan of the Corsair King series, I couldn't resist creating a small representation of my loyal support. No doubt your next book will be a marvel, sir. Fans across the galaxy have faith that you've made Van der Hulst's progress. Yours in adoration, Harald Harksing. Alright, this one was a little bit more difficult to find because it's actually a ground port. It's here, not too far away, only 12 light years, in the Caspatsuria system. And there it is. This is a quick way of finding out. Go to points of interest on the left and you can scroll through all the ground ports in the system as long as you have all of the navigation data for it. Useful trick for quickly finding ground ports. You'll also notice that this is a Horizons world, which is the kind of thing they have to think about now. To keep this accessible to everybody. And I don't envy them that task, especially as the story goes on. And there's bound to be more story elements that are going to be Odyssey only. But for the moment, I do admire their attempt to try and keep Horizons players involved for as long as possible, and hopefully always something for them to do. Not that I have to really worry about ship integrity at this point, just force of habit really. Sell the gift. and look forward to the ecstatic response.
Incoming message.
Harksing shipment confirmed. Recipient, Olav Redcourt. Recipient comments. If you're such a fan of my work, you'll know I dictate my manuscripts. An emotional support typewriter is not only useless but insulting. Contact me again and I'll sue. Oh dear. Oh well, that's writers for you. They always were a precious bunch. I'm not so sure they need emotional support as a firing squad. Anyway, you get the festive Firework red flat launcher, the green Snowfall paint job for the Anaconda, the Diamondback Explorer, the Krait Phantom, and the T9. So yeah, picking up a fair few skins for a decent range of ships anyway, at least common ones that people are very likely to have. So yeah, not too shabby for free, and plus you're getting your free arcs every day for logging in, so yeah, for people who don't normally go for cosmetics, this is at least a chance to get a few freebies thrown at you. Okay, message 5 is a substitution cipher. So it's a bit like @bash, the reversed alphabet, but with the first two, middle two and last two letters switched. And this is to Elijah Beck. To Elijah Beck. It's one thing to reveal the wrongdoing of a megalomaniac as you once did. It's another to dedicate your career to complete the important work that person abandoned. Your department at George Lucas is doing great things. Words are far more important than weapons. Much more appropriate for holiday games as well. Yours in solidarity, Harold Harksing. It's in Leasty. Very well known station, George Lucas in Leasty. And it's the main Coriolis there. Leasty, of course, is what they call one of the old worlds now. It was one of the original systems in the very first Elite game. And now, as far as Elite history is concerned, it was part of the original Galactic Cooperative that eventually fell apart and was replaced by what we now know as the Alliance. And just looking in the navigation panel and filtering down to stations and points of interest, you can see that Leasty has played a massive part in the lore over the years. Here at George Lucas, we sell the penultimate gift.
Incoming message.
Harksing shipment confirmed. Recipient, Elijah Beck. Recipient comments. Thank you for this charming gift, Harold. I hadn't previously wanted a drone pen that writes beautiful poems about harmonic coexistence, but I can see now I was missing out. Assuming I can calibrate the pen to see scribbling its prose on every possible surface in my apartment, I'll cherish it. And your rewards for this are the Onion Head 3 decal, the yellow Blizzard paint job for the Conda, Aspects, Cobra 3 and Python. I could see the Python get one. So that's your rewards for that one. Okay, the final letter as we conclude the gift giving on behalf of the man who seems to be able to invent everything except off switches is to Brianna Blanco, of course the woman who basically took Zachary Rackham out of the Federation race, stopped him becoming president, created enough doubt about his pirate past for him to withdraw from the election completely. To Brianna Blanco, the intrepid investigator, Crick City's journalist for justice, to so relentlessly hound one of the richest figures in history is an act of fearlessness. What gift could possibly encapsulate such determination, such focus? I present the answer to that question, with a pinch of panache, of course. Yours in tribute, Harold Harksing. Our final destination is here. 1952 SETI. As I say, all of these will be in the video description below. The locations, the rewards all listed out for you. It's not too far away, 150 light years. Crick City.
Landing permission granted. Vectoring for approach to landing pad 3-5. Clear for automated approach vectoring.
Okay. After significant amounts of vectoring then, we'll land here at Crick City.
Boosters offline. Deploying ground services.
Incoming message.
There we go. Oh. Wanted that one. Alright. Harksing shipment confirmed. Recipient, Brianna Blanco. Recipient comments. A glass circle on a stick. Isn't that something? What's it called? A magnifying glass? What's the button for? Why does it fire a laser beam? My cabinet is on fire. Harald, you idiot! And the rewards for that are the green flat launcher, the purple and blue ice paint job for the Anaconda, Corvette, Fer-de-Lance and Chieftain. And there's a final reward from the man himself, Harald Harksing. Commander, you are a true hero. Yeah, possibly not as much as the people who got your gifts, mate. My prestigious prototypes have all been delivered to the intended individuals. No doubt they sent you words of awe and inspiration upon receiving their parcels. Well, yes, you could put it like that. Or, certainly, who knows, perhaps if the recipients are as smitten with their gifts as I expect, they would be willing to endorse their widespread manufacturer. So... They would be willing to endorse their widespread manufacture so every system can enjoy my work. Think of the prestige, not to mention the credits. As a token of my thanks, I've sent an extra extravagance to your account. I bid you a fantastically festive holiday season. Harald Harksing. Alright, well, there you go. Yeah. I don't know if this makes up for the lack of frame shift live this week, which annoyed a lot of players, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. Catch up on some goodies. Once again, the Flak launchers I think are probably going to be a regular thing. And some nice paint jobs for free. So, and 20 million credits as well for a relatively short trip if you just take something with anywhere around 60-70 light years and you'll breeze through this. You'd normally expect it to go quiet over the holidays, but we have had things happen before. The Thargoids attacked a few years ago on New Year's Eve. Or it could be some story tidbit they drop on us, possibly about salvation, since that's come to light again. There could be some big development in the war. There could be some technological breakthrough that we get teased about, with perhaps a community goal to do for it, in or over the new year. Who knows? If anything does happen, I'll do another video over the holiday period. Otherwise, this is probably it for the year 3309. 2 Titans are stripped of the control systems around them that they've been using to expand outwards into human space. The remaining systems around the other Titans will be a little more difficult to clear, and we'll also have to keep an eye on the isolated Titans to see if they cause any more alerts. Was Lagong a fluke, or is this a thing now? The next step in the war would appear to be doing something to the Titans themselves, or possibly something to do with the spire sites that we haven't seen yet. On that note, are these the only spire sites we will see, or could more appear in the future? Until we get some new way of fighting back, we know that eventually, with enough work, We will isolate every Titan, even if it takes another 6 months to do it, but what then? I personally feel another 6 months is too long to wait for the next stage, the next development in both the war and the story. We've been fighting this war over territory for a year now, and it's time for the nature of the fight to change, for the nature of the fight to move on from a war over territory to whatever else this is about. So perhaps update 18 or some update that isn't too far away will give us that chance. Meanwhile, those fighting will keep plugging away to recapture territory or mitigate the damage caused by any that the Thargoids do gain, and we'll see where we all are in January. So whether you celebrate anything over the holiday season or just enjoy having the time off, have fun, look after yourselves, and as always, thanks for watching.